Hey, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well this morning. Um, Hope you've had a great week. Going to wait just a minute or so before I really get started. And let me move some stuff around a little bit where it look like I'm really looking at you and get ready to show you a quilt here in a minute. So I hope everybody's had a good week. It's raining here, so um, we had a little bit of a storm roll through, but I think it's going to be okay. I don't think I'm going to lose any power or anything, so everything should be good. Um, should be able to keep signal during this little rain. Um, but I am glad that everybody that's tuning in is spending time here on my channel. I know I haven't really posted anything other than lives for the last 3 weeks. I've been sick. I've been actually sick all night and wanted to go ahead and get this done. And I had a couple of videos in the works that I'm planning on, getting finished up. Sometimes when I'm not feeling good, I'm not doing a good presentation of how to present and make something. And so I've not been pleased with the content that I've been trying to make. So that's one of the reasons why you've not been seeing anything lately other than the lives and community um, messages. But that's going to change, and I'm going to try to get some things done. Um, I am so glad that everybody is spending time here with me. I know that there are other channels you could be watching and other things you could be doing. And I hope that you find something that will encourage you to make something, kind of spark some interest. And we're going to go ahead and get started. I I don't know if you were able to see the community tab where I try to do that so that you can see what we're going to talk about. And then that way it gets you interested in what's coming up. You've kind of already seen a close up picture of it and everything. Well, the first thing I'm going to talk about, well, like I do, I've got my basket of goodies here. We've got and I've got some stuff in case there's a little extra time. But these are projects that I have done in the past, or started in the past. This one that's um, everything, including the kitchen sink. I had this quilt top is finished. So let me stand up and show you this quilt top, and then I will tell you a little bit about it. And so one of the reasons why I named it that is it has all kinds of pieces of fabric in here. And it's kind of a Western calico theme, and it's kind of manly but not too manly. It's got a lot of bandana prints in it, and then so it's got a lot of different fabric. And so why I called this everything including the kitchen sink is this part right here was a block that I had made. I had started making um, like a little table topper. And one time when I moved, I had lost the rest of the fabric. And so I cut it up into pieces and put it in here. Now that you can't see it because it's so tall, but that runs the entire length of the quilt. So like if I've started with 5-inch wide pieces here, it goes all the way down. And if it's just a 2.5-inch strip or a 5-inch strip or a 3-inch strip, and it goes all the way down to the border. And then the border is pieced with more pieces. Oh, thank you for the comments. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad everyone's tuning in today. Thank you. And so, and like this was leftover strips from where I cut up yardage or leftover from another project. And so this is kind of like an improv project. You're going to take some things that you've got. They can be orphan blocks. They can be scraps that you cut. They can be, even if you want to do like string quilt pieces, and then you take other fabric that you can make everything go together, and you put it in, you know, in a way to make something and put it together. Sometimes we need to use everything that, use something that we've got. And let me scoot back over there. Takes me a minute. But, you know, that little table topper that I made, I was looking forward to having that. And like I said, I lost the other fabric in a move. But this is the excellent place for that. It goes well with all of that. And it's kind of a calico Western theme. You know, I wouldn't be ashamed to give that to a gentleman that might need a quilt. And that's one reason why I made it a little bit taller, because it is kind of difficult to find something that's a little more manly looking in fabric, and I thought that would cover the bill. So kind of today is about take an idea that you've got, or take something that you've got and make something that's not really a traditional pattern. And I understand not everybody is able to do that. Some people want a pattern. I want to know exactly where I'm going, what size it's going to be and everything. But with this kind of thing, you are able to make the size that you need. You might need a twin size. You might need a lap size. You might need one that's a little bit bigger than a lap. This is an improv quilt. You can make it as long or wide as you need it. And you're using up things that you've already had, that like the orphan blocks, the little table topper that I started, and I cut it up. And the main thing is kind of have an idea where you're going. I kind of had to build that one from the middle. I made, the blocks that were 5-inch wide. Some of them were 5-inch squares, and then some of them were the leftovers from where I tried to cut leftover 5-inch squares and sewed it together. You can always cut that any length that you want. And I made that in kind of like sections, like 20 inches or so at a time. I'd make a section that was like 20 inches long, and I'd make another section, and I just make it. It really wouldn't be laid out and sewn in a pattern. You can do that, but this was completely, just improv. Just, what I had in front of me, I just did some mindless sewing just to do something. I enjoy sewing, and sometimes, I want to do something that I don't have a thought process. And that was exactly what that was. I didn't have to think about how I'm going to put it together. I had kind of seen something like this, and I had that bandana fabric, and I had gotten like a large cut of it a year or two ago, and it's been sitting in my stash. And I thought, okay, I'll cut different size widths of that across the quilt and break up all of that patchwork. And so this is just one of those things that I didn't really have a pattern for. I just started sewing something, and it just kind of worked its way into what it is. And a lot of times I'll look at a pattern and I can think of something else to do. Like I'm sure some of you have worked on these keyhole blocks. So, keyhole blocks are 6.5 inches wide when you get finished with them, plus or minus, depending on your seam allowances. Well, I have those Vegas strips that I don't know what to do with. And I'm thinking about making squares of the Vegas strips and putting with this. And if you don't know what Vegas strips are, they're for sale at So Yay Quilting. They're out of Las Vegas, Nevada. It's a pack of 20 to 22 strips that they cut. They're at their quilt shop, and they sell them. I think they're running $45, and they're 6.5 inches wide by width of fabric. And it's going to be things that they put together. So you're not going to find this set. It's not going to be like a typical jelly roll. And so I have bought some of those, and I'm kind of at a loss on what to do because they're a little different size. It really doesn't fit into everything. And so I thought, okay, this is a this is a wonderful quilt in itself, the keyhole. I mean, but what if I had blocks up here and then I had another keyhole up above the block and then another block down here and a keyhole down there and staggered them, starting one row with a keyhole and the next row with a block, a plain block, and stagger them. And, or heaven help you if you decide to put it on the different direction. I mean, something you can get a different effect by just doing a simple change. And you can take another pattern that you've already done before and you can do it by just doing a little simple change. Let me pick another one because this color reads about the same as this. I've got a few of them started. I've got a little basket here where I've started working on them. That one's a little bit, that's reading a little bit better. So, even if you put them on this direction and put block, plain block here, and staggered them, you would have something different than the keyhole. I mean, that's a very nice quilt, but it'll go faster if you've got some blocks. And so, and it's sometimes we need a quilt fast, and that takes a little bit of time to do that. So the other quilt that I had shown in the preview on the community tab was something that I don't have finished, but I thought I would show you what I have, give you a little tips and tricks on how I did this and where I'm going. I had tried to start a video, was not feeling good that day, and I go like, I'm having to cut my video, put too many little comments in there. I'm going, I need to wait till I can really do it justice. So I had, as I've said before, I learned a lot of my quilting techniques by watching videos of Missouri Star Quilt Company. So this is a take on an older quilt tutorial that Jenny had done at Missouri Star Quilt Company, and she had took a package of 40 or 42 inch strips that were solids that were like in rainbow order, and there was like in her set there was only one of each color. Well, I thought I'll do that, so I bought a set of rainbow colored solids in Jelly Roll. Mine had duplicates, so I thought I don't want to put two together and down. I thought I'll do it where it goes like in the middle it's light and it graduates out dark on both sides. And I got to looking at it and I go like, that's nice, but that's not really what I'm looking for. So I had sewn two set strips of half of the Jelly Roll and made the rainbow sets like this. So I had two of those. So when I got to looking at it, I thought I want to do something different. So when I did, I had separated it into where I've kind of got my cool colors together, and I've kind of got my warm colors together. Let me open it up. I've been cutting on this and put my warm colors together. So once I did that, it made it a little bit more manageable. And kind of like that other quilt, you're going to work kind of in sections, and you're going to, make strips of fabric out of that set and cut it. So let me show you what I had gotten done on it. I want to stand up because it'll show up a little bit better when I show you how the colors are different and they kind of move around. The color has movement in itself, much less the size of the strips helps to bring movement to it. So I have that started, and I was thinking I'll make another set like this, and I'll put a 5-inch set of strips, and then I'll put this in the middle, put these others that are like this on each side, and then go from there and see what else I need. So this is a 2.5 inch strip. This is a 1.5 inch strip. This is a 2.5 and a 1.5. But you can cut those whatever size you want, depending on how much color you want. And you don't have to use the rainbow. You have a jelly roll that you don't know what to do with, and it doesn't even have to be in like color order. It can be that you've sewn two strips together of contrasting color, just like another video that I had where, where do you get, to get started, to kind of just get part of the sewing done where you can actually, wait till you've got a pattern for it to get to finishing up your quilt. So, this is something I'm going to be doing a tutorial on later. And, I have this, I just couldn't help but think, this is beautiful. It needs to be finished. And it's going to be nice to, to finish this up. And, I'm just amazed sometimes at the things that I have put up. But I've already got my 5-inch strip cut. I've got some 1.5 inch, and I've got some 2.5s already cut. And then I've got my white background, and you can use black. Your color changes the look of your quilt. You can do the same quilt to someone else and you can use a different colorway, and it changes the whole feel, or a different theme of fabric, and it changes the whole feel. And so I hope that's gave you some ideas today. And I had this little tip. I hadn't been practicing it lately, but sometimes you cut up projects. You kind of have an idea you want fabric to go together and to store it up. Well, you can put it in Ziploc bags. So like, I would probably get a little bit better bag than this, but get Ziploc bags. Like if you're making smaller blocks, get 2 or 3 of them. Get the one that's got the little label right there, and write like what the block is and like 1 of 3. And I think I've got that. Let me see if I can get to it right quick. No, I've got stuff blocking everything. But then you put all these together in your storage bin, and they're right there together when you're getting ready to work. And then, like you can get the gallon bags and see, like you can write on this, what is the pattern and how many of these bags are for the pattern. And then you can put things together and organize it. And I've got those little plastic drawers, organizers, and I have a lot of things in that. So I am so glad that everybody has spent time with me today. Like I said, I haven't been making as many videos. I've been sick and I've not been able to make content that was real easy to understand. So I'm going to be working on that. I appreciate everybody taking time out of their busy day and coming here. And I appreciate everyone checking out my channel, and liking, subscribing, and commenting. I really appreciate that. I know that you could be spending time elsewhere, and there's lots of channels that you could be watching and learning from. Anytime you have you want, a suggestion, you want to give a suggestion for something or want to find out about something, like go to the community tab, and on the previous Quilt and Coffee Live, put a comment there, and I'll work on getting you the things that you need. Oh, thank you so very much about the wishing me well. I appreciate it. Everything's going to work out. Some things take time, but everything's going to work out, and I am doing a lot better than I was back in May. So I'm looking forward to getting more stuff done around the house, and being able to work full time. And that's been a struggle to work full time. So I hope everybody has a great day. I hope this has motivated you, and I hope that this has sparked some creativity where you can make something for somebody and encourage somebody. I appreciate you spending time here today. Have a great week, and I'll catch you later. Bye.